Okay, it's under home.
Okay. All right, folks. Welcome to the Orlando Amateur Radio Club's first virtual meeting. This is the first time we've ever done anything like this. And we welcome everybody that's watching on YouTube. Just so everybody knows, there's about a 20-second delay between live and what goes across YouTube.
Okay, it's under home.
So if you'll sit there, and also on the right-hand side of the screen on YouTube, you'll be able to sit there. Oh, I gotta turn my. There we go. There's also a chat screen on the right-hand side of the screen, so everybody wants to sit there and message the board or anybody, we can answer those questions during the meeting. So kind of interactive that way. First of all, let's go ahead and do the Pledge of Allegiance. If everybody on the Zoom part of it will sit there and unmute their microphone, and I'll start it. So I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, nation under God,
indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I probably sounded wicked across.
So, all right, let me go across introductions, because there might be a lot of people viewing this that has not actually gone to a actual OARC in-face or in-person meeting. Right now, myself, I'm John Knott, N4JTK. I am the president of Orlando Amateur Radio Club. Depending on where everybody's viewing at on YouTube, Michael Colley, do you want to introduce yourself?
Michael Colley, Vice President, Orlando Amateur Radio Club.
Anna, are you still there?
Does he know he has no audio?
Wasn't hearing anything, Dean. I'm not sure if you got muted or something.
Sorry, I'm back. Can you hear me? This is Anna Grow, Treasurer, KM4JV.
Okay. Bob Nocero.
Good evening, everybody. Bob Nocero, W4KBW, Secretary of the Orlando Amateur Radio Club.
Okay. And let's start with Bob Cumming.
Bob Cumming, W2BZY, Director.
I came in a little loud.
I guess I should have moved over so you could have got that.
Okay. Let's go to Tony.
I'm Tony, KK4VRP, one of the directors.
Thank you, Tony. Frank.
Hey everybody, KC9GNQ, Frank Ergitz. I sit on the board of directors for the Orlando Amateur Radio Club.
All right. James Dool.
A little slow. Hi, everyone. James, N0XIA. Hello.
Ed. One more time. If you want to introduce yourself, Ed.
Okay. How much am I going to introduce myself here? Is this my time to talk about why I want to be a board member?
No, just introduce your name, call sign, and that you're a candidate.
Okay.
But we'll go to the other part later.
Good. Thank you, John. Sorry, I'm trying to get the other part running now as well on my handheld. It's not working, but back to where we are. My name is Ed Thralls. My call sign is NE4H, and I'm a candidate for a member of the board of directors.
Thank you. And Andy, you joined us now. Go ahead and unmute your microphone and just introduce yourself.
Trying to get the other part running now as well on my handheld. It's not working, but back to where we are. My name is
Try one more time, Andy.
Yeah, okay.
And Andy, you joined us now. Go ahead and unmute your microphone and just introduce yourself.
Yeah, I'm Andy Anderson. I've been a member for a number of years, and I'm running for a board of directors.
All right. We'll go into all the statements here in just a little bit. Let me, we'll continue on real quick with the rest of the meeting before we go into statements. All right, so I want to bring everybody up to date of a couple things. First, why is it so important to make sure we have your correct email? If you've been to an OARC meeting, at the beginning of every meeting, I sit there and ask that please go back to Ray and provide any updates to your email address that you might have incurred recently. And I say that every month, and very few, if anybody, ever goes back to Ray and provides an updated email address. When we sent out the ballots last night for everybody that was for the elections, today I started receiving a lot of emails from people saying they didn't receive their ballot. Well, come to find out, some people's emails have changed. Some people's ballots went into their spam bucket, and other ones were probably mistyped, and that's my fault for when I typed them in. But the important part is for us to be able to communicate with you regularly, for you guys to get the listening post. We ask that you provide us with an email address so that way we can communicate with you. Nobody ever saw COVID-19 coming to the point that we were going to have to sit there and have virtual meetings, and also virtual elections. So it's always important that we have updated contact information for you. Just like when you have to update your information with your doctors, your banks, the post office, or wherever, it'd be helpful if everybody makes sure their updated information is with us too. You can easily do that online by sending an email to members or membership at OARC. That's membership at OARC.org. Or just let us know at an actual meeting whenever we get back to having a regular meetings at Beardall. So it's just important that we have that contact information. I just want to reiterate again that if things change, please let us know. Something we are going to start doing, we tried this a while ago. An individual or two got a little upset with the email that went out, but we're going to start reminding everybody when their membership is about to expire. Okay, we're going to try to give you about somewhere between a 30 to 60 day notice that your membership was going to expire. It's your choice whether you want to renew or not. All we're trying to do is bring you up to date that, hey, your membership's about to expire. And so that way you can stay in tune with the club if you so wish to by our emails or our meetings or virtual meetings, elections, whatever the case might be. So you can be a part of it. So starting here soon and starting this month, individuals who expire at the end of this month will be notified the end of June and also the end of July. So we'll start sending you emails right away so that way you have time to renew. Had a lot of questions recently about the status of Beardall. Beardall Senior Center, where OARC normally hosts their meetings, is still closed. Okay. When Orange County went into phase 1, or Florida went into phase 1 of reopening, the mayor of Orlando sat there and said that the city facilities will remain closed to the public at least through the end of May. Now, no decisions have been made at this point in time that we are aware of if they're going to reopen in June or not. We're waiting to see what happens. Even if they reopen in June, there's always a chance that because of the CDC warnings and stuff, having more than 10 people in the gathering, we still may not be able to have a meeting in person. So as soon as we know something, we're going to let everybody know via email. And if there is going to be a meeting actually at Beardall in June or July or August, whenever the next one's going to be, we'll definitely make sure everybody's aware about it in advance. We are also, Bob W2BZY has been getting a lot of emails and requests for test sessions. As you know, it's been recently stated by the Federal Communications Commission that virtual test sessions are allowed by the FCC rules and regulations. It's up to the VECs to come up with a program to sit there and actually have virtual test sessions. And the last word I got, the ARRL is working on that, on seeing how it can be done. As everybody knows, a lot of colleges have their testing online. Final exams, or a lot of that stuff is online. So if they can do it, then I'm sure that we'll be able to come up with a way to do it also. If it happens before we actually start having normal meetings again and test sessions, we don't know. It's all depends on the ARRL and what they decide to do and plan they come up with. So we've had a lot of requests for those test sessions, but until we can actually get to meet in person again, they're just not going to be able to happen, or at least until a virtual substitute is in place. So once we know more, we'll let you know. Tonight is a test run for a virtual meeting. The board has been meeting via Zoom on different occasions to keep the club going. It was kind of a test. We tested Zoom, we tested Teams, we tested just a conference bridge. We tested a lot of different things, and Zoom seemed to work out the best. So we started using Zoom more on a regular basis. We found out that Zoom actually will live stream into YouTube. And this is how we're providing you with a meeting tonight virtually. If we're not able to have an in-person meeting in June, then my plan is on the first Wednesday of June to go ahead and still have a virtual meeting. I will try to make sure we get somebody on the schedule to do a presentation. So that way there was actually a program again. And Bob Nacero will bring the virtual donuts and coffee. So make sure you have donuts and coffee at your house so you can have your coffee break too. But that's the plan so far. If we end up being able to have an actual meeting again, we'll try to do something in June. If not, maybe July. We'll see what happens. It's a wait and see what the city decides to do. One of the things I meant to sit there and bring to everybody's attention prior to tonight was Contest University. Everybody should know that the Dayton Hamvention was, one second here, I'm trying to read something. Dayton Hamvention was canceled this year because of COVID-19. But one of the things that always happened on the Thursday of Dayton Hamvention was Contest University. It's an all-day seminar on participating in a contest about antennas, about radios, about coax, all different types of stuff. This year, you can actually do it virtually. It's tomorrow. I'm sorry for such a late notice. This is my fault. I meant to get this out to you guys earlier, but I did not. But you could still register online tonight. If you go to contestuniversity.com, you can sit there and register tonight. It's all day tomorrow. You can also view it on YouTube. If you are participating in the actual webinar on Zoom, at the end of the Contest University tomorrow, they're going to be giving away a 7610 to somebody that's online through the virtual system. It's a good course. I know several of us that go up to Hamvention for the past couple of years have been wanting to take the course, but because we're usually setting up the booth on Thursday and getting things ready for opening on Friday, none of us have been able to do that. So I know that myself, Michael, and maybe a few others are planning on doing it tomorrow. But if you want to still do it, you can still register tonight and still participate tomorrow. I have the information up on the screen now, but if you go to contestuniversity.com, you'll be able to register still tonight. I'll leave that up there for a couple more minutes. And then we're going to switch over here in just a second to Michael. Michael's going to give everybody a Hamcation update. All right, Michael.
All right, let me first welcome everybody here. Thank you for coming. Hamcation's been kind of slow rolling right now with everything. We did have our wrap-up meeting probably about 3 weeks ago now, virtually using Zoom, which was the first for that also, which worked out very well. Bring you update on a couple things coming up. As I kept mentioning about the pavilion, I've told a lot of people that the pavilion was going to be replaced. It was supposed to happen last year, but it actually started now. If everybody remembers, this is the old pavilion here. This is a photo of them tearing down part of the old pavilion. You can see the new pavilion on the right-hand side being laid out. The old pavilion is totally gone in this photo. The new pavilion's coming along. They laid the foundation of the new pavilion in that one. Construction started of the new pavilion. And that's the last update I've got of the new pavilion being built out there. So for next year, we will have a new pavilion. I'm not sure the size or all the details of it yet, but we will have a new one out there for next year. Also, to bring an update, I do know since they've been shut down out there, they're not having concerts, anything going on also. They have been doing a lot of maintenance to the buildings. They painted all the buildings now to the new color scheme. I believe during Hamcation, the Swaps building was colored the new color. It's supposed to be like the brownish color of it, but all the buildings have been painted now. Right now we're just going to get the ball rolling again for Hamcation. Since things are starting to open back up, we've been starting to get in contact with the hotels again, getting everything up on the website, getting contracts from hotels for cheaper rates. We will be probably adding a couple new hotels this year that have contacted us for hotels. Also, here soon, the website's going to be starting to get updated, hamcation.com. So please go there and look for new info going up there as it gets updated. I think that's all I have, John.
You want about donation checks to let everybody know?
Oh, donation checks. We've got all the hours calculated. There's a few issues we're working out with them. Couple missing timesheets, which I did have that I have to get to Fred yet. I misplaced them, but I did find them. So we're probably looking at hopefully by next week. What's today? Wednesday. Probably by next Wednesday, we should start writing the checks out and getting them in the mail to everybody, which is a good thing.
All right. Anything else?
That is all I have.
All right. You want to also explain about the volunteer picnic, just to make sure everybody knows.
Yeah, I can do that. Just a reminder, I put it in the newsletter several times. I sent emails out. The Hamcation picnic has been canceled for this year due to Turkey Lake Park and most of the parks in Seminole or Central Florida has closed. Turkey Lake Park originally was going to push it out, and then they give me a call and told me that they were canceling everything and they would not be taking new reservations until minimum August 1st. So I couldn't even make a reservation until then. At that point, you're in the mid of the summer, and with everybody going on. I know nobody wants to really be out there in middle of summer, worrying about rain and heat and everything else. So the board of directors decided at that point just to cancel this year's, and we'll do it for next year, and plan on a bigger and better one for next year.
All right. So I just want to bring everybody up to speed on what some of the things that's been going on. Even though we kind of have not had general membership meetings, the board has still been meeting virtually, discussing stuff. Everything is just a whole bunch of wait and see what happens. I hate to say that, but it's just the truth right now. So anyways, going on down the list, if you remember back at I think it was the March meeting that we actually did have, I was asking for assistance with Tour de Cure, like any other events that's going on in the Central Florida, actually in the United States right now. Things have been canceled. Tour de Cure this year has actually been transferred to a virtual event coming up on the week or Saturday in July. I think it's July 13th, if I'm not mistaken. Look at the dates real quick. Yeah, I think it's July the 13th. So individuals are going to do their own bike ride, their own routes, and everything's going to be done virtually. Tour de Cure has been asking people to, post on social media, but there won't be an amateur radio involvement this year since there's going to be, a bunch of riders going different directions and on their own routes. There's no way we can cover it. So kind of different this year, but hopefully next year things will get back to normal for Tour de Cure, and we'll be able to assist them again. One of the things that we've been asked about a lot lately is obviously field day. What is the plan for field day? Field day is, about 6 weeks away. And to be totally honest with you, OARC doesn't have a field day location at this point in time because of the pavilion being torn down and the new one being built. The board is going to still have a virtual meeting next week, and we'll come up with a final plan for field day. But it looks like at this point, field day is going to be pretty much on your own. And that's what's happening with a lot of clubs around the United States, is because they can't come up with the proper distancing at field day because of the size of the event. A lot of them are just saying that you're going to have to just provide or do your own field day at home. But we'll discuss it more as soon as we have a final decision. We'll make sure everybody is aware of what's going on. All right. Going into elections, last night I sat there and sent out an email to all the email addresses that were on file through the database for the ballot. That ballot, it goes live in about 3 minutes. It'll be good for the next 6 days, so you have a chance to vote. Again, this is one of those important factors that we ask that you make sure that your email address is on file and correct with the database, so that way we can send out emails properly. This is one of those things that we can't send out to everybody through the listserv, because the way this ballot works is everybody has a unique token. So when you click on that link to cast your vote, once you submit it, you're done. You cannot sit there and go back in and vote again. This is making sure that everybody has one opportunity to vote. So this is why we couldn't send it across the mail server, because that same token will go out to everybody, and the first person that votes locks out everybody else from voting. So that's why it's very important that we have your email address. So here in just a second, we're going to, with the individuals, the candidates that are online right now, if they choose, they have a 5-minute window that they can provide you with a statement or why they want to run for election on the board of directors. The candidates are the 6 current directors that are on the board, which starts with Bob Cumming, Dean Groh, Frank Gergitz, Tony Durnell, James Dool, Frank Tagalani. It's not on with us right now. Plus Ed Thralls and Andy Anderson were nominated as a director candidate. On the ballot, you have to vote for 6 people. Our elections are done in plurality. So the top 6 candidates with the most votes will get a seat on the board of directors. So when you do your vote, cast your ballot, please make sure you vote for 6 of the individuals that you want to represent you on the board of directors. So we'll go down the line. The officers involved, myself, Michael, Anna, and Bob, we ran unopposed. Nobody ran against us. So virtually, Bob Nacero, who's the secretary, will cast a ballot to elect us into those positions. So the only opposed positions were the directors. So let's start with, I'm just going to start with the top of my screen. I'm not sure what everybody else is seeing, but Bob Cumming, you want to go ahead and do your statement if you choose?
Okay. BZY, been vice president, currently commercial co-chairman with John for Hamcation, and currently doing the ARRL testing liaison for the club, also for the Lamar's club. So I've been doing a lot for that, and been active on all the bands from 160 meters all the way up to 3 centimeters. So I believe that operating ham radio is one of the good things to do. And I encourage everybody to go in and do whatever their thing is in ham radio. Go ahead, John.
I have to unmute myself first. All right, appreciate it very much. Tony.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Tony, KK4VRP. Hope everyone is staying healthy and spending lots of time on the air to avoid boredom. I'm running for re-election as a director. I've been licensed for about 5 years now. Got interested about 40 years ago, so it took a while for me to get a license. 5 years have been great. I've been on the board now for a few years, and I'm on the Hamcation board and a co-chairman for security, and all in all, it's just been great to support, promote the hobby, and I'll continue to do it no matter if I'm reelected or not. So hopefully you vote for Tony, and everybody have a great evening. Thanks.
Thanks, Tony. Frank. Unmute your microphone first. There you go.
Get it? Okay.
Yep.
Frank Ergitz, call sign KC9GNQ. I was first licensed back in 2004. I hold a general class license. I enjoy the contests and LDHF bands. I've been a member of the OARC for a number of years. Been a member of the board for the last 2 years. I also am a Hamcation chairman. Been doing that for the last 3. And one half of the Silent Key Committee for the Orlando Amateur Radio Club. And in 2019, I was a recipient of the Outstanding Ham Award by the club. So I enjoy being a director. I enjoy meeting the members and interacting with members that have been around a while, learn from them, and also help teach the younger membership, that I should say, hams that are new to the hobby. So that's all I've got.
All right, appreciate it, Frank. Dean.
All right, thank you, John. Yes, I am Dean Grow. Amateur call is KD4TWJ, licensed since 1992, so it's about 28 years. And I'm a career IT professional. Been doing that here in the Orlando area for 34 years. And so that has given me a lot of opportunity to work on technology projects over the years, from very large to very small. Some are just exclusively IT, and some, of course, include amateur radio. And as many of you know, over the years, information technology and amateur radio have merged together quite a bit. So got a lot of experience with a lot of different kinds of projects. been involved in a few local repeater projects and packet and APRS digipeaters, voice over IP nodes, mesh networking, and a bunch of other stuff too. Been volunteering for Hamcation for a number of years. And a couple of years ago, the information technology chairman position was created. So I moved into that role, and I've been doing that ever since, and really enjoying it. Also been heavily involved with Orange County ARES for about 15 years now. And so I bring some viewpoints and perspectives from that part of amateur radio to the board. So with the type of experience I have, the amount of experience I have, I think I bring a good pragmatic approach to projects and new technologies as we discuss them within the board. I tend to be a bit of a fiscal conservative, so I kind of bring that perspective to it too. So I've enjoyed being on the board for the last couple of years, and I hope to have your support to continue to do that. Thank you.
All right, Dean, appreciate it very much. And James.
Hello, everyone. I think I got this. James, N0XIA. I'm not really good at talking about myself. I'm a ham, obviously. I don't know if I'm a really good one, but I enjoy what I do. So all I can really say is there's 8 people running for the position and only 6 can be elected. And I personally think that all 8 of us do that little extra effort to support amateur radio. As a club member, volunteer, we all do it. So all I can say is, yes, I would like to get reelected, but if I don't, it'll be okay, because I'm happy with any of the 8 that are running. I know them all. I'm sure a lot of you do too. They do an extra mile to support the club. I hope I am doing the same thing, and I would appreciate your vote. And if I don't get it, that's okay. I will still be here supporting the club in any way that I can, just like everybody else will. Thank you.
Thanks, James. Ed.
Good evening. I'm Ed Thralls, NE4H, and I'm not really new to the club. I've been an absentee member for probably over 35 years now. I first joined the club about 1979 from Monterey, California. So I know a little bit about the club. When I first moved into the Orlando area, 1989, I guess I was in the activities of the field day. And I must have been at least 3 years while we were at Camp Ithiel. It's been a long time. But I went into, retired from the Navy in 1979. And I got a job at the City of Orlando as their network support manager. And I worked there for 11 years. And then for the past 18 years, I've been working for the University of Florida. And for the 13 of those 18 years, I've been working for Orange County as well. And I teach horticulture classes, non-traditional adult educational classes. I also teach summer camp with 4-H. And I've been teaching a STEM class for the last 2 years, trying to orient at least my portion of the program around amateur radio. And I've gotten a couple of young people interested in it. I'm your newsletter editor, have been for several years now. And I've been a Hamcation committee chair for RVs and co-chair for RVs for 2 years. I'm an ARRL instructor, ARL VEC and Laurel VEC. And this past Hamcation, I was able to complete the Department of Homeland Security's Oxcom class. That was an eye-opener for me. I had no idea what was totally involved, and still am amazed at what happened. I'm active on 10 to 80 meters, mostly CW, some voice. I'm afraid of digital communications, probably because I don't have a lot of equipment here that would support it. But for those of you who are into digital communications, not only would I learn from you, but I think I might be able to contribute to your projects as well. The 8 members that are running up for board, as James said, are all very highly qualified. I just think some of them have been there a long time and may want to take a break for a little while. So I'm here to give them some relief. And I'd like your support and vote to become one of your next 6 members of the board of directors. Thank you.
All right, thanks, Ed. And Andy.
Yes, sir. For some reason, I can't get my beautiful picture up on the screen. Are
Okay.
you
We can hear you just good. We're just fine.
okay? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I've been the safety coordinator this year for the Hamcation. Last year, I ran swaps, and I've done several jobs with Hamcation over the years. I've enjoyed working with the club in many things. I'm retired from the Orange County Health Department. I was supervisor of inspectors that did certain things for the health department in food safety and other aspects of it. I'm a certified safety engineer. I was vice president of the American Society of Safety Engineers in Washington, D.C. And I do miss that. And I've been, excuse me, I'm sorry. I've been retired for a number of years. And I think I'd be a good part of the organization. And that's all I have. I wish you could see my beautiful face. It's all covered in I looked like Ed and I looked like Dean. So I haven't, and you look good. So that's it. No more. Go ahead.
Thanks, Andy. All right, so everybody's heard from the candidates now, and it's about 11 minutes after you could start voting. I just want to remind everybody that when you vote anonymously. Nobody knows who you voted for. All the system does is calculate how many votes each individual gets, and then lets us know at the end. So it doesn't tell us that so-and-so voted for this person or so-and-so voted for that person. It doesn't do that at all. It just calculates how many votes each person gets. So that's pretty much what we have for tonight. Again, this was kind of a test run, having a virtual meeting. My plan is to have another meeting virtually or in person on June the 3rd, which is our next normally scheduled meeting night. So once we know something for sure, we'll get it lined up and get everybody, get an email out to everybody. In the meantime, if you're watching this and you're an OARC member and you didn't get an email from us or haven't seen an email from us, it's very important that you contact us and let us know what your email address is. You can send an email to membership@oarc.org, and the membership committee will get that and update the database. We are still working on getting everything up online so that way that you can actually do this yourself through the website. It's a work in progress. A lot of things go into making that whole system work. So we hope to have it up and running here soon for you. I just don't know. I don't have a timeline yet of when it's going to happen, but we need to have good, accurate data for the database. So please contact us, let us know, and so we can get that stuff updated. Michael, by chance, were you watching questions in the chat online? If anybody have any questions?
I was. I think I answered some of them. To answer Dick, the meeting is being recorded, and it will be here on YouTube so people can watch it in the future. That was the last question I saw.
Okay. So that's pretty much what we have for you guys tonight. I want to thank everybody for attending. For those individuals that are on Zoom, we're going to go ahead and stop the live stream, But if you'll stay on for just a few minutes afterwards, so I can just talk to you real quick, and while the live stream stops.
There's a question that's being asked. This is being recorded, right?
Yes.
Okay. Dick was asking.
Yep, Michael just addressed that.
We did. I wasn't listening. Shame on me.
Not a problem. So, all right, guys, we're going to stop the live stream, and we appreciate you attending our meeting online tonight. And if you're watching this after the broadcast is actually over with, hope you enjoy it, and hopefully maybe we'll get to see you guys in person really soon. Thanks, and have a good night.